it comes no color first, and then now comes the color. So in your picture is something not exactly precise. So we play only from beginning to the A flat. I stopped you already. I'm not sure you want. Because you start with a slight vibrato, but from the beginning. Okay, it was better. Huh? So we looked at this D only. So we have a D with tonguing. The vibrato is there, and it makes this in the diminuendo. Just a D. This was D, but it was. Okay. So the tempo and the range of the vibrato together with the tongue is the biggest. And it slows down. And not. And it accelerates. Once more. It is right, but it's a bit, pulls a bit down the sound now. So it's in the intonation also. Be sure that it's just these. We have two colors. But only one pitch. It's coming back flat. Find a way from after the B flat. That is a gesture, but it's maybe not crescendo, because it's written piano cantabile. We can be more because we're soloists, but it's not meant to be big, because the big thing has been the first movement, and we want sort of a transparent atmosphere. So it's a tension, but it's not really a crescendo. There you need the vibratos also to hit the tongue. The whole tema. It gets flat. When you vibrate, you pull it down. Well, you said you're 440, so you play maybe a bit flat again. But to your B flat, it pulls it down when you vibrate. So be sure that you have a plus vibrato, not the minus.
Oh.
I think it was enough to just to mention the thing to you, because now I don't feel it's a problem. I just careful. Sometimes you want to be expressive, so you probably give a bit too much air from lower part, and then at that moment the vibrato stops a little bit, and then it comes back when it's a bit more relaxed. But musically, at the moment of expression we need more the vibrato, and when it's more relaxed we need less vibrato. So sometimes your musical way and the vibrato way are crossing each other. So it's enough to pay attention. I will play. It feels like, what does he want? He wants this or this? He wants two things at a time. It's more easy to follow the line of the melody, because the two informations, one of the sound and one of the vibrato, it's the same information. This is the idea. So, but as soon as you can guide the vibrato, and the vibrato is the expression. It's not a sound, an expressive sound, plus some vibrato like a ventilation somewhere. But the vibrato is the guide of the expression. Then it's good. And of course, to practice the vibrato, it's good to play expressive things without vibrato first, to look if there's something to correct, because if the tuning is not good, the vibrato cannot help. If the sound is too non-equal, then first fix the sound to be more in line. Now I feel the vibrato is a bit far away. I mean this is far away. Instead of I could help the dotted note to be more elastic. So it's more, it's the same thing, but it's nearer in the sound. Maybe also physically far away, and maybe it's here. For the voice it's good because there is a sound. So if I do it there, it feels like you have to imagine that in the tube of your throat you have the voice. If the voice is vibrating for a singer, this is where the instrument is. But if it's vibrating for an oboist, it's where the air is passing, will go into the mouth, and now comes into the reed. 15 centimeters later. And there's an air tube, and now the voice is boxing against this air tube. So you have a round tube, and now you have not a round tube, and now you have a round tube again. And this is like a disturbing. It's disturbing, it's possible to vibrate, especially for lower notes, it's possible, but when you come higher, it disturbs the stability. So you need higher air speed, it's taking off speed. So if you vibrate in the throat, it's not so much problem. I don't like it because it sounds like taking off, and not like adding something to the sound. So it's a bit sad. Now I come into trouble. So I prefer, if I do the vibrate a little bit higher, there when you swallow, you have muscles all around your mouth, tongue, but also on the top you have muscles. So you can produce an opening, and then you can produce a bit smaller opening, and again the bigger opening, but both are perfectly in the form. Whether here you have nothing, you can do nothing at the back. So you're actually disturbing, destabilizing the air column of your throat. So I think this is not so good here. For a low note it doesn't matter. I don't say it's not good to vibrate in the diaphragm, but it's a bit slow. Let's say if you have only that one, you could miss then things like, give a moment like a perfume to a note, because you cannot get the high speed. I think it's good to vibrate there, that's not wrong, but you need also other type of vibrato, because music is not so simple. You want each note to give something, the diaphragm vibrato will be too slow, come after the note. So you search now to get more near to the sound, I think also physically more near. I think just a bit higher in the curve, it will be a bit like being oi 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 oi, or like being when you clean the teeth. So this is a muscle that does this with the instinct.
Oh.
This is something very easy to get. And you put it in a position for the reed, and try just to feel it in the curve and to guide it directly to the reed, which means careful here, yeah, not to be far away with the tongue because it could disturb the giving it to the reed. Now must be the bridge for the air and also for the vibrato to the reed. Going in the palate, like a taste, like something you taste first here, and then you taste it at the palate. It's 2 times of taste. That one is good, yeah? It's faster, smaller, with the palate. It's not that, and it must be your taste, because you eat different things than I eat, and you drink different things, but I don't say you must taste this, it's very good, maybe you don't like, it must be your taste. But it's coming from the possibility to move into a taste, and the moment that it's back there, you could feel like it's like a leaf moving in the wind. It's your wind moving that thing, and it's not you anymore have to do it consciously.
Yeah.
So this is, you can do it best when nobody watches you. Now I'm watching you and other people, but when nobody watches you, you have more concentration, of course. But I think take anything that is expressive. Then take the note that is the most expressive of that phrase, which would be the G, because we wanted a little jump there. We wanted the fast vibrato, a little bit hot. Then you blow this note, you smash this mouth movement that we trained with the reed without lung, just the mouth can do this. So it would be pity not to use it in the music, but we have to control it so it doesn't change the pitch. It gets like a little shock in the sound and back. First this must be, when this is, you can think, so I want to transform this into a sound duality that is the vibrato with the same pitch. So I have to make it faster, it's smaller, and now I pull it back, it's like onto the palate, and then suddenly there you feel that the air that comes up, and that's the curve, is actually helping to do the movement. When I'm like, okay, it's on now, I can leave it, I don't need to do it anymore. The air does it.
Yeah.
And then it's also coordinated with your blowing, because you can do suddenly the note that you want to show in the air, you show it also in the vibrato. Maybe it needs some time, we don't need now that it works now, but that you understand how we could work on it. And I prefer also you work on your own than that I tell you, because it should be your vibrato, your taste. has an influence on everything, right? Because when you can do this, a fast vibrato and sort of opening of the sound, you can also do two notes, two positions there.
Mm-hmm.
What we work today on Marcello. That it does not necessarily, the same note has the same color.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of the same thing, because it's the color place. Also, when we talk, it's a vowel place. In the taste, it's also a place of taste. So it's a place of taste of music and it's a place of coloring. It can be used for the vibrato that have two colors which chase each other, so it feels like the sound is moving. Also, he doesn't move the pitch.
Mm.
And it can feel like two kinds of color in to articulate. It's the same. So this, when this gets very mobile, many things you can do with it. When vibrato comes from far away, okay, you can use it for some moments. It will work, but for those moments. But there are other moments that you have to play without vibrato when you would like to have one, and or it comes late because maybe it's from too far away. And you can never use it for color, because for two colors, because it's sort of here is sort of disturbing the sound and come back. So one color will be good and the bad color, good and bad. It's also a kind of duality, but you have, and this one is just flat. So you hear when you vibrate more, my sound gets flatter. That cannot be. Huh? Two colors. I can vibrate very much, and the pitch is the same, and the feeling is only that it gets wider, and then it gets smaller again. So this is what you need in the phrase. Okay. We cut this thema because you have to find out. But just, I want to give you the idea how to work on it. We did it now. Make those shocks. Be sure that the mouth is free. But if those shocks don't work, you have first to get them to work, because the mouth is then able to work with the sound on big. You know? Then you make it smaller and more into detail, and you put it where it's possible to use for vibrato. And at that moment, you decide which kind of vibrato you like. Nobody else.